Let's get it. Do the Google. Do the Facebook. Do the Facebook. Control, Alt, Delete. Control, Alt, Delete.
My YouTube is popping.
My YouTube is cool.
The students get detention for surfing at school. My YouTube is cool.
My YouTube is popping.
You got a weak connection. It's
Buffering and stopping.
Track banger.
Heavy hitter. Your baby mama follow me on Twitter.
You full of shit if you think I can't get her. She came to my show, left the baby with a sitter. I'm no kidder, no bullshitter. Her skirt so tight,
Look like it don't fit her.
Now click that link while I lick that clitter.
Yeah.
I never throw away these chicks, I don't litter. You
don't
don't like
litter.
my steez, nigga, please.
Please.
You ain't gotta subscribe, bitch, please.
Log out.
Try to hack my sites, I'ma pull the dog out.
Yeah.
24 domains, now I'm finna blog out.
Do the YouTube. What's up with the YouTube, fam? Yeah. Do the Google. Yeah. What's up with the Facebook, fam? Yeah. Control, Alt, Delete. Alt, Delete.
MySpace submitted, blog finna get it.
Yeah.
She wanna hit it, girl finna get it. Apple lay that ass and select all that. Apple Z that ass and she bring it on back.
Bring that back.
Shortcut key chicken lock that quick. A Mac on the game with a pimp ass cane. A bang on the track, 5 hitters on aim. In the Apple strip club when they down for the train. And they off that cane. And the hookah man saying shit gon' change. It's the range, a white boy and nigga space. It's internet game and we making them pay. Lobster and crate, we fishing with steaks. We bring them on board and we send them off the plane. Butterfly outfit, butterfly fly. Butter on the booty and the booty gon' cry. I like it.
To the you, 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 to the Google, do 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 the face, 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 do the face. Control, Alt, Delete, delete. Control, Alt, Delete, delete.
Yeah. What's up with the Facebook, fam? What's up with the YouTube, fam? It's your friendly neighborhood partner, Mr. TREE, coming at you live and direct, like I know how to do best. Yes. You know. Where's that music coming from in the background? Hold on. Oh, okay, my bad. That was my extra headphones. Over here, got double headphones on and everything. Yay. What's up with it, Facebook fam? What's up with the YouTube, fam? It's your friendly neighborhood partner, Mr. TREE, coming at you live and direct, like I know how to do best. Yes. So we got a hot show for you today. Interesting topic that's come back up in the media, per se, and it caught my interest last time. It was out there buzzing, trending and everything. So we got RnB. For those of you who don't know, RnB is part of a group called B2K. Hot little R&B group that was buzzing back in the day. You know, consists of Marcus Houston, RnB. I can't think of the other little dude's name, but they used to have a reality TV show and everything. Pretty popular boy band. You know, and about 2007, RnB had made some allegations that he was molested as a child. Because I think these boys got together when they was in their youth, maybe like 13, 14 years old. I think that's when they formulated the group B2K. I know they were underage little boys when they first got started. And I heard a funny story too that during an interview, they made them drink milk or something they did. Oh, they took milk out their diet so they wouldn't grow because they wanted them all the same height for the little boy band. I said, what? So yeah, these little dudes had like a certain diet that they made them eat. I don't know how true that is. You know what I'm saying? But I just heard this during the interview. And I don't even think it was from them. I think somebody claimed that was one of their dietary supplements, that they couldn't drink no milk because milk made your bones grow. And they all wanted them the same height. You know, looking like little boys or whatever. You know, they wanted them to grow to grown men, I guess. So they took milk out their diets. But anyways, there's a group participant, RnB. He's been trending back in the headlines because he made some allegations towards Chris Stokes, which is the group's manager. Chris Stokes is the manager of B2K, and I think he has some relation to Marcus Houston. I mean, I don't got all my facts and stuff straight here. You know, the story, like I say, just caught my interest because of the sex allegations that were made, the child molestation. I'm like, whoa. You know, so RnB made them allegations towards Chris Stokes back in 2007. And it was floating around the internet and the media. He was doing numerous interviews, but nothing was really done about it. I sort of remember him getting criticized, being called gay. People didn't really take him serious, I guess, because yet and still there has been no charges brought up against Chris Stokes. And I've also heard allegations from RnB that he wasn't the only one that was sexually molested by Chris Stokes. He claims Marcus Houston and I think a couple of other B2K band members, you know, experienced the same thing he experienced, or he would make them have sexual experiences with one another, you know, while they was little boys. So recently, RnB has been trending lately, back up in the news, the media, the web, and I guess RnB has called out Chris Stokes to like a boxing match, and RnB has started his own Me Too movement. Because he said the regular Me Too movement failed to protect him. He says, hold on, I'll bring this page up real quick. We're going here on RnB's Instagram. But that caption to the right says, RnB speaks on the Me Too movement's failure to protect and support men. And so I guess he got interviewed on Hollywood Unlocked, and he talks a little bit about his experience. So let's tap into that and see what's popping.
Long. The reason why I have you here is because when we talked back in 2007, the time has changed. And I feel a couple things. One, as somebody who's now been speaking very public about his own child molest and naming the people and talking about my experiences, we do live in an era where Me Too, Time's Up, has existed and protected women. It's been a veil of protection for women. But I feel like when it comes to men, they're made a mockery. They're called gay. You've had all that happen to you, and they're disrespectedly disregarded, and the people that they accuse don't even get interviewed. And so I've been very vocal and a champion of you getting justice over the years. So that's why I asked you the question.
No, I mean, you know how deep this shit can go. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not here on this earth to serve any devils, nor will I stand by and try to protect any of these people. If you hurt somebody, you need to rectify that. You know what I mean? But yeah, the game is different. You know, I feel like for men, it's something that they want to hide, but I feel like a lot of men have been abused and molested. And I personally, I'm excited to do this documentary. It's not about that. It's about my life, but we're hiring some of the best doctors because I'm still trying to understand who did that to that person. Why would that person really want to do that? I personally don't have that desire to want to mess and fondle with a kid. You know what I mean? So I just don't understand it. Probably would never understand it. And I'm just a small piece of it. But I just pray that we can protect our children more, man. You know, real talk. Like nobody should have to go through that. You know, some of my close friends, I won't name names, they were like, I'm surprised you ain't kill yourself. You know, I was like, everybody wasn't built for this. So I know my testimony that the enemy has tried to get me to smear or tried to, you know, water me down and, you know, dim my light. It's inevitable that I have this platform because this is what I was put on this earth to do.
Day long. The reason why I have you here.
Yeah, so that's RnB right there, talking a little bit about his situation and the allegations that are out there towards Chris Stokes. And I know when he first brought it to light way back in the day, it was a lot of controversy around it, and he really didn't receive the support. I mean, I believed him. You know, I know a lot of the people experience sexual abuse and go through it out there, and they be afraid to tell or to speak out about it. and the accusers, walk away scot-free. I guess that's why it's so prevalent. And like he said, he's doing this to make awareness of it. So that's why I wanted to cover this story as well, to put like the spotlight on this topic, make total awareness of it, because it's sad that people out there violating children like this. And then the child grows up into an adult faced with all type of traumas that affects their everyday lives. So I support RnB for speaking out. He's just trying to speak his truth and trying to deal with this the best way he know how. I'm gonna pull up a couple of interviews because he go deeper into it. Like, he want to squabble, and I feel him. He want to whoop Chris Stokes' ass.
Check this shit out. I'm tired of fucking being bullied. I'm a grown ass man. I'm 35 years old. I'm not a little kid. I'm tired of you niggas fucking with me. So this is how we gonna do this. I ain't on no violent shit. We ain't on no street shit. We ain't gonna send nobody to see you. You don't gotta send nobody to see me. But what we will do is when I see you, I'm smacking the shit out of your ass. I wanna catch a fade, nigga. That's the only thing, nigga, I want, nigga. Y'all niggas took my money. We already know. We know. Chris, we get it. But nigga, this shit is over, nigga. Your time is done, nigga. So when I see you, I wanna fade, nigga. Hit me up, nigga. I wanna catch a fade, nigga. Check this shit out.
Damn. So, RnB calling him out now. He said he want to fade. He probably feel like ain't nothing getting done about this. Now he a grown man able to defend himself. He not the little boy that's scared and afraid, easy to be manipulated by these monsters that do this to children. Here's another video. These are all recent on his Instagram. When I found out about the story, I just went to his Instagram to get caught up, because here he was letting out the videos speaking about his experience.
Check this shit out. So I've been getting a bunch of calls from my loved ones, people that support me. And they're like, take this down, deal with this privately. But I say, yo, they've ruined me publicly. They've tried to smear my testimony, make me out to look crazy, got people looking at me sideways, got people thinking that I'm gay, and I'm not, because I was molested by a pedophile. So this is how we do this. Since y'all want to try to shut me down publicly with sending out cease and desist letters, let's get in the room with the lawyers and let's take a polygraph test. I'm going to take the test, and when I take the test, you can do whatever it is that you need to do. When you take it, and when you fail, you take this fade and you take that bit. Because I'm tired of being bullied, and I'm not going to be bullied no more. Check this shit out. So I've been getting a bunch of calls. Oh yeah, and I'm doing this polygraph test for all of my fans that support me, all my family and my friends that support me, so I can move on with my career, move on with my life. Free me. Oh yeah, and I'm doing this polygraph test for all of my fans that support me, all my family and my friends that support me, so I can move on with my career, move on with my life. Free me.
So, I think RnB posted this a week ago. He said, the truth stops. Stop the talk. Let's both take a lie detector test and make the results public. If you're innocent, then vindicate yourself. I'll stop telling the truth about you because this will stop you from lying about me. This is my last post about this ever, as long as you agree to take the test. Have your people reach out to set it up. RnB said that's his last post about that ever. I don't think so. This stuff is floating all across social media now. But he's right, like the accusers never get interviewed. They never get asked about it per se. And I think they need to be questioned about it. If you didn't do it, clear your name up. And say why you, some type of extortion attempt, blackmail. But you just can't be quiet. Somebody make them type of allegations towards you. I wasn't there when it took place. You know, there's three sides to a story. You know, there's first person side, the second person side, and there's the absolute truth, the right down the middle, like what really happened, because you can see things from your perspective and have a whole different total picture than somebody else, or your comprehension level is just different, you know, because you live in that reality where, you know, your motherfucking sky is orange and shit. Mine is blue. Yours is purple and green. You got rainbow skies and shit, you know? So I would like to see Chris Stokes, Marcus Houston. I actually think there's an interview with the other boy. What's his name? Omarion. Okay, the group two, the B2K members are RnB, Omarion, J Bug. And the light skinned boy. What's the light skinned boy name? Fizzy. Yizzy. Fuzzy. Hold on. I can't even think the little yellow boy name right now. Here's a RnB bio. Demario Monte Thornton, known as RnB, is an American singer and actor who was a founding member of R&B boy band B2K. Born June 13, 1985. So he will be 35 years old today. So yeah, Facebook Fizam, YouTube fam, what do you think? Type what you think up in the comments about this situation with RnB. Do you think he's telling the absolute truth? And if he is telling the truth, do you think that Chris Stokes should be questioned about these allegations? RnB's been saying that he's been sent cease and desist orders to try to make him hush up on his end. But now he ready to squab. He ready to take lie detector tests. RnB is ready to speak his truth. So yeah, I support RnB as well as all the sexual abuse victims out there. I think people who commit these type of crimes are demons, monsters, devils, and I think they should receive the worst type of punishment there is. Then you can help them, try to rehabilitate them, because they say a lot of those people who commit these type of acts are going through trauma themselves, and they've been sexually abused as a child, and they just carry it on through like the next generation. So those are people too, you know. Those you can help, you try to help. Those you can't, you know, got to put them away for life and lock them up under the jail, you know, in the hole for these type of people. Hold on, I was sitting here reading something. RnB and Chris Stokes.
Writing.
Here's another interview with RnB speaking out. This is recent.
For the interview went out, there was an alleged cease and desist letter sent to Fox Soul stopping and blocking the interview from airing, which is the craziest thing, because in the 5 years I've owned Hollywood Unlocked, in the 4 years that I've had this show, I have never received a cease and desist letter for any interview from anybody about stopping or blocking a conversation. And I felt like this is where Chris fucked up. Chris, where you fucked up was you did it in a time where it is like literally adding gasoline to a fire. Now that you have temporarily blocked the interview, you have lit social media on fire where they are demanding not only that they see the interview, but that you be strapped down the way you probably allegedly strapped these kids down and put into a test for the truth. And
Okay, so update that, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to block the recent interview that RnB did with Fox Soul. You know, bringing people up to date, because what we saw was on his Instagram page. So that's what he was speaking on. The cease and desist orders, trying to prevent him from speaking his truth. So here's an update on all that situation, because I don't know. I think this guy's name is Jason Delirio or something. But Jason is a talk show in Hollywood Unlocked. And he recently interviewed RnB, but apparently it's getting blocked by Chris Stokes and his team with a cease and desist order. Imagine that. Let's see what Jason got to say.
And we're going to get to that, but first I want to show you a clip from RnB, because you may have silenced his interview last week, but bitch, you can't silence me. Take a look. Me Too, Time's Up has existed and protected women. It's been a veil of protection for women, but I feel like when it comes to men, they're made a mockery, they're called gay. You've had all that happen to you, and they're disrespectedly disregarded, and the people that they accuse don't even get interviewed. And so I've been very vocal and a champion of you getting justice over the years. So that's why I asked you the question.
Nah, I mean, you know how deep this shit can go. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not here on this earth to serve any devils, nor will I stand by and try to protect any of these people. If you hurt somebody, you need to rectify that. You know what I mean? But yeah, the game is different. You know, I feel like for men, it's something that they want to hide, but I feel like a lot of men have been abused and molested. And I personally, I'm excited to do this documentary. It's not about that. It's about my life, but we're hiring some of the best doctors.
So RnB is coming out with a documentary.
Now, after that clip aired, a couple of things happened. One, I sat down with RnB at lunch in Miami, and we had a long conversation about the road ahead in airing this interview, and also him, you know, doing what he's going to do to seek justice. And I also received a phone call from Marcus Houston. And Marcus, you know, if you're watching, I'm just going to be very transparent, because I told you when I answered the phone, one, this was not a safe space for you, nor was it a private call, because I was so fucking pissed at the idea that Chris thought that he could silence me here at Hollywood Unlocked and silence the show, and, you know, silence any guest who wants to come on and seek justice. And so Marcus shared from his point of view that, you know, he feels like Raz is just using this for attention. You know, the same old stuff they've been saying, that there's no truth to it, that Raz is, that other people in Raz's life molested him, which Raz did talk about in the interview. And so he kept going on and on about how he felt it was unfair that Raz was continuing to be given a platform to talk about this. And I explained to him that if he's a victim, I've been a victim of child molest. If he's a victim and feels like he needs to be given his just due, so be it. And then, you know, I went on to say to Marcus that we would invite him here, him and Chris Stokes. So I'm going to say this to you publicly. Not only should you do the lie detector test, but you should also come on the show. I will sit down with you, Marcus. I will sit down with you, Chris, and I'll sit down with any of you that were allegedly involved in this and give you a fair platform. I'm going to ask you hard questions, but if you did nothing wrong, you shouldn't have a problem coming and having those conversations. So I don't know. I know you guys saw the video.
What you think, fam? You think Marcus Houston and all the other B2K members, along with Chris Stokes, should go have the conversation? You know, sit down and tell their side of the story, because they claim RnB is telling lies. He doing all this for clout, for attention. I don't even think clout was that popular way back in 2007. What was that, like 13 years ago? 14 years ago? Clout chasing didn't exist back then, you know? And these allegations have been going on since then. They just have resurfaced once again.
Video pop up online. What do you guys think about all of that?
I believe him. I 100%. I'm gonna keep on saying this every time we talk about this topic. I have never not believed RnB. I think most people with sense believe RnB, regardless of what you think about him personally. And unfortunately for me, I have exes and a lot.
I believe him too. I believe a lot of that going on up in Hollywood, up in the music industry with children and stuff, are just child stars, period. I believe a lot of that goes on.
A lot of my male friends who have confessed that they have been abused or molested. I know what that looks like, and it completely rings true to me. My heart goes out to him. I hope he gets the healing, and I really feel like Chris Stokes, his day of reckoning is also coming. The same way it took a long time for R. Kelly to finally have to speak for what he did because of the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. Look, if y'all gotta do Surviving Chris Stokes, I'm here for it. I want to see a lie detector test. I want Jason to be up there administering it so his blood pressure can spike. I think that RnB is owed an apology and some kind of reparations for what he's been through, because they've been trying to discredit him and it almost worked. But in this age of Me Too, I think men have to also be involved in that dialogue because they too get molested. It's not just women.
I agree. Okay, along with everything I just mentioned, some other things happened. After I sat down with Raz in Miami, he took to his Instagram on his own. And this was after I told him to hold off and not say anything, but he was getting bullied online where people...
Hey, so that's what we just finished watching on the Instagram page. You know, so I guess Jason told him to hold down. Don't say nothing. We're going to attack this in the right way. And he just went off on Instagram. He said, I'm not going to be bullied. So that's what he was referring to and talking about. We just catching it from backwards to front instead of front to back. Let's get it, though.
Had a lot to say about him coming forward with his claims, and he took his own Instagram, and this is what he said.
Oh, yeah. And I'm doing this polygraph test for all of my fans that support me, all my family and my friends that support me, so I can move on with my career, move on with my life. Free me.
So Raz is asking for a polygraph test, and while Chris Stokes has been responding to DMs of fans who've had a lot to say about that request and telling him that they demand that he takes it, he's not the only one. Omarion's brother Orion, and I've always liked Orion. I didn't like him just because he was cute. I didn't like him because he had a baby by Janae Aiko. I liked him because Orion has always just been a cool, honest, straight up guy. No, he's straight up. He went to Instagram. And he posted this photo. Post the photo. He posted this photo of him and his daughter, who's grown up now. And he said, Papa's proud of you, my baby. Chris Stokes went under there and did the whole pound and the fire flame. And Orion said, take the polygraphs in large letters. Now, Orion, you be the man that all those other niggas should have been a long time ago. And you stand behind Raz and ask him to be, and ask Chris Stokes to be held accountable, because again, if you did nothing wrong, what's wrong with stepping forward and taking the polygraph? What's wrong?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I love Orion even more than I did before this. He just got
man, prove your innocence. It's that easy. Just take the polygraph.
Exactly.
Well, Chris hasn't responded to taking the polygraph test, but here's my offering. Hollywood Unlocked will pay for all of the polygraph tests. Me.
Okay. Maury.
Matter of fact, I'm going to split it with Maury. We're going to do it together, and we're going to do a 2-night special. We're going to air it here and on the Maury Povich Show. Released the RnB interview. I sat down with RnB last week to talk with him about sex abuse and the fact that for years he's been asking for people to take him serious. He's been asking for justice. He's been asking for people to take the alleged sex abuse that occurred when he was a kid by his cousin and former manager Chris Stokes. And also,
okay, so Chris Stokes is his cousin. Chris Stokes is RnB's cousin. I knew there was some relation somewhere within the group, so that's what it is. They're cousins. So this is a little bit deeper, man. This is like family.
So allegedly with Marcus Houston. And so I wanted to, now that we're in the era of the Me Too and the Time's Up movement, that all these women have been getting a platform to share and find justice, I felt like it was time to circle back and have a conversation with Raz, who I haven't talked to since, 13 years ago on this topic. So I interviewed Raz, and when the promo for the interview went out, there was an alleged cease and desist letter sent to Fox Soul stopping and blocking the interview from airing, which is the craziest thing, because in the 5 years I've owned Hollywood Unlocked, in the 4 years that I've had this show, I have never received a cease and desist letter for any interview from anybody about stopping or blocking a conversation. And I felt like this is where Chris f***ed up. Chris, where you f***ed up was you did it in a time where it is like literally adding gasoline to a fire. Now that you have temporarily blocked the interview, you have lit social media on fire, where they are demanding not only that they see the interview, but that you be strapped down the way you probably allegedly strapped these kids down and put into a test for the truth. I sat down with RnB at lunch in Miami, and we had a long conversation about the road ahead in airing this interview, and also him, doing what he's going to do to seek justice. And I also received a phone call from Marcus Houston. And Marcus, if you're watching, I'm just going to be very transparent, because I told you when I answered the phone, one, this was not a safe space for you, nor was it a private call, because I was so pissed at the idea that Chris thought that he could silence me here at Hollywood Unlocked and silence the show, and silence any guest who wants to come on and seek justice. And so Marcus shared from his point of view that he feels like Raz is just using this for attention. The same old stuff they've been saying, that there's no truth to it, that Raz is that other people in Raz's life molested him, which Raz did talk about in the interview. And so he kept going on and on about how he felt it was unfair that Raz was continuing to be given a platform to talk about this. And I explained to him that if he's a victim, I've been a victim of child molest. If he's a victim and feels like he needs to be given his just due, so be it. And then, he went on. I went on to say to Marcus that we would invite him here, him and Chris Stokes. So I'm going to say this to you publicly. Not only should you do the lie detector test, but you should also come on the show. I will sit down with you, Marcus. I will sit down with you, Chris, and I'll sit down with any of you that were allegedly involved in this and give you a fair platform. I'm going to ask you hard questions, but if you did nothing wrong, you shouldn't have a problem coming and having those conversations. So what do you guys think about all of that?
I think Chris Stokes, Marcus Houston, and all the rest of the B2K members should go have that conversation. Stuff been going on too long. Chris Stokes, if you didn't do it, go clear your name up, man. Maybe you got a specific reason why RnB is doing all this. Maybe you swindled some money from him, got him for some millions. I think that was some allegations too. That's why the group broke up, because they wasn't being paid their proper money. Like most boy bands, all them little boy bands got worked out their money. NSYNC, Boys to Men, all of them got worked. Should even New Edition. The music industry is a cold spot. But yeah, leave your comments down there. I'm going to be recovering the story as well, trying to bring you an update. I want to see if Chris Stokes actually accept the interview and the polygraph test to try to clear his name. Because he take that polygraph test and clear his name, then, hey, I guess he done vindicated himself. I'm not too familiar how accurate them polygraph tests are. I've never experienced one myself, is what I'm saying, but from what I hear, they're pretty accurate. I can tell whether you're lying or telling the truth. So yeah, I think Chris Stokes should accept that challenge, but type in the comment section what you think Chris Stokes should do. Yay, yay. Party people out there, have a good one. This is your friendly neighborhood partner, Mr. TR double Izzity, Fo Shizzity, and we signing over and out. Peace.